Y'all, we need to talk about that direct. And the fact that this Breath of the Wild sequel is probably coming out in 2020. You know, next year. Also, let me just say, Nintendo knows how to do conferences. Yes, this was a direct, but Nintendo just wiped everyone out of the water. I recognize that I'm not really into other video gaming developers like Microsoft or any of them, but Nintendo clearly wiped the floor with them. Nintendo was just sitting back this whole time going, okay, ooh, that one was really good, oh, that was pretty good. Alright, boys, let me show you how it's done. I don't know if we could have said that about Nintendo 10 years ago, but they're doing it now, and Nintendo is killing it. Nintendo, yes. Videos 3 days in a row. Isn't that crazy? I normally upload only once a week and stream every few days or so, but of course I had my 2 reaction videos on Tuesday, my video for Wednesday, and I'm actually recording this on Wednesday, but I'm not uploading it till Thursday, so, you know, just, it's crazy. But that direct was just so much. Oh my gosh. I've been watching a bunch of Nintendo Directs for a while now, and I thought the one that ended with Link's Awakening was the height of all Nintendo Directs, because that just caught me so off guard and I was so excited. And I'm used to watching Directs and not really knowing what most of the games are, or just not being interested because I like very few games. But what I do like, I love and am passionate about. But this Direct, oh my gosh, there were so many things that I was like, I've never played that, but I kind of do now. I kind of want to play it now. Like, what? And this Direct had 2 back-to-back things that I genuinely wanted, but never would have thought would actually happen. If you have not already seen my reactions to the main things that I'm going to discuss today, click here to see, 4 of the main ones. There's a completely separate video for Breath of the Wild, which that's in the description below, and I'll probably link it later, so yeah. Normally when it comes to these kind of things, I just leave it at my reactions, I don't discuss it much further than that. But, like pretty much everyone else on the interwebs at this point, there's some things I really want to say. They might be really similar to what everyone else is saying, but I don't know. I want to get y'all's thoughts and see if we're on the same train here, Now, none of these are like theories on Breath of the Wild story or anything like that. I've already watched a bunch of videos, which, out of all of them, the main one I recommend is Zeltix. Oh my gosh, he always has really good in-depth videos, and HMKs, actually. I'll link them below. I mean, I don't know why you'd watch my channel and not know theirs, but I'll link them anyway. Let's begin with Link's Awakening. I know that there's already a little bit of controversy about the graphics. It seems that for the most part, everyone's on board. It's really cute and kind of quirky. It's reminiscent of A Link Between Worlds, but a little bit more toy-like, a little bit more claymation-like, if you will. For anyone that's still kind of on the fence about it or just really doesn't like it, let me point out that when this game came out in black and white back in 1993, it was a really oddball Zelda game, just an oddball game as well, just in general. I mean, it was a Zelda game with Mario characters in it. You had Terran, who kind of looked like Mario a little bit, like an older version of Mario. You had a Yoshi plushie that you got in the Crane game thing. There's an enemy that's essentially Kirby, and there's Chain Chomps. It's weird. It's meant to be a quirky game, and spoilers for a game that is older than me, you're in a dream. Like, the island's not even real. Like, it's so weird. And it was kind of intended to be that way. And the developers, when they made this game, it was kind of like, let's just see what we can do with this. And they went with it, and they're like, well, that was fun. And then they made the DX version, which had a color, like, it was actually in color, and had a color dungeon. Like, one called the Color Dungeon. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. And, just... My point is, these weird, quirky graphics, adorable quirky graphics, fit the feel of this game. If you don't like them, you don't like them. That's fine. I just think that this really does fit the way this game is. And I'm in love with it, and the new Link amiibo is also freaking adorable, and I can't wait for this game to come out September 20th. Oh my gosh. Zelda Dungeon Maker. That's a phrase that's been passed through the interwebs, because of Mario Maker. Oh, we'll get a Zelda Dungeon Maker one day. And I was always like, no. That's stupid. It just doesn't, it's so much different than making a Mario side-scrolling game. Like, it's just, that won't work. Leave it to Nintendo to find a way to make it work. What? When I saw that, I mean, if you saw my reaction, I was kind of like, what? Okay. Which, obviously, I don't think you can get quite as creative as you can with Mario Maker. But of all games to put it with, that's a pretty fitting game to put it with, you know? And it's more enticing for those that maybe aren't as hyped about the graphics and played Link's Awakening when they were younger and they were like, no, I'm good. This is kind of enticing. At least I think it is. But that leads me to the question, do we get to share these dungeons online somehow? Like with Mario Maker? I mean, is there even going to be enough there for us to get creative enough to want to share them online? I don't know. At least share them with friends. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. What do you think? Next is Cadence of Hyrule. When I first watched the trailer for this game, I was kind of like, huh? Okay, that's interesting. And the hype, what little hype I had, kind of died down. I wasn't like, ew, I don't want to play that game. It was more like, oh, interesting. Once the hype kind of died down for me, I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to play it. I don't know. I'm not paying $60 for this. But it's not $60. You can buy it today, $24.99. I have to wait till my next paycheck, though. Anyway, watching the trailer for it in the Direct this past Tuesday, all of a sudden I was like, I really want to play this and I really want to stream it, but I'm kind of torn because now people are saying they want me to stream that, but also I feel like I need to finish Breath of the Wild, which is what I've been streaming, especially in light of recent events. I need to 100% that game now, actually. I don't think I've ever 100%ed it. No, I definitely haven't because Korok Seeds. Because I don't know what's going to carry over to Breath of the Wild, and there's so many questions, and not now. We're not there yet. So maybe I'll stream it sometime soon. I don't know. Animal Crossing. I'm sure anyone who knows me fully expected me to have a complete freak out the moment they started showing Animal Crossing stuff. Which, yes, I gasped. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's finally Animal Crossing, let's see some gameplay. But then my face, or at least, I don't think I actually looked like this, but in my mind I looked like this most of the time. What? Huh? I gotta tell ya, when the Highland Games cast, they were all together, obviously in LA, and I kind of conference called in when we got together to kind of podcast about the Direct because we need to do it while it was fresh on our minds. I was very, very relieved to know that Chublima and I, which if you don't know Chublima, she has a Twitch stream. She's a part of the Highland Games cast. I'll put a link to her Twitch below. She's a cool gal. Just be warned, I'm a PG channel. Her Twitch stream is very much not PG. She'll be the first to tell you that, just as a warning. But she and I are both huge Animal Crossing fans. Like, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only person that loves Animal Crossing this much. And then I met her and I was like, oh, thank goodness, not the only one. Because it's so good. And I know everyone was just fully expecting for her and I to just kind of be like, wow, Animal Crossing. But as I was getting to, I was very relieved to notice or to hear from her that she actually had the same reaction I did, which was, huh? The thing is, and the reason why I think we both had reactions this way is Animal Crossing is not a game you can describe to people. When people say, oh, Animal Crossing, what kind of game is that? If you describe the gameplay, people will be like, why on earth do you play that? That it doesn't sound fun. You just have to play it. And it may not be your thing. But because you can't describe it, seeing new gameplay footage of it for a new game, you just have to start playing it. You have to see someone play it, which is why for both of us, watching the treehouse kind of made us go, okay, I'm starting, okay. Because what they were initially saying, I already had all these questions of, I'm sorry, do I not get a house? Am I not mayor anymore? Am I not in charge? What's happening? What did they do? Do I get to bring over my Pocket Cap stuff? I mean, I have 2 videos covering everything I want in Animal Crossing, or think we need. I don't know. It's just what I want, but I'm just one person. So again, suffice it to say, I was very relieved that I was not the only huge Animal Crossing fan who just kind of went, huh? At the trailer. Of course I freaked out when it was first announced, because I was like, yes, Animal Crossing 2019! But Well, now it's not 2019, it's 2020. But it's early 2020, March 20th, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, I would rather it be delayed and be done really well than be rushed to be done by 2019. Like, I'd rather them have that extra 3, almost 4 months. Like, please, take those extra months. Make my Animal Crossing really, really great, because I want an awesome Animal Crossing. I'll wait. It's all good. So I'm still a little bit iffy about Animal Crossing. It's not that I think it's going to be bad, but because it's such a hard game to describe, it's a game that you can only experience it. You can't describe it. It's just impossible, which is why watching the Treehouse was so helpful and hearing them talk about it a little bit and them saying this is still early development. So that was comforting. So I'm looking forward to seeing stuff in the future. But if you're an Animal Crossing fan, let me know down below what you thought of the trailer and if you had any similar sort of, types of reactions. Remember when I said Nintendo is killing it? Banjo-Kazooie in Smash. I said so many times, I want Banjo in Smash. I'm never gonna play Smash. I'm not interested in Smash. I never really got into it. Not my type of game, but I want Banjo in Smash just because I love Banjo-Kazooie. Everyone wants Banjo in Smash. Well, a lot of people do. Like, this is an example of Nintendo listening to their fans. Okay? They heard us, and they made it happen. They went to the proper people at Microsoft and said, we want Banjo, and they made it happen. I was surprised. Link's Awakening, Cadence of Hyrule, Animal Crossing footage. But what makes me freak out and start to cry? Banjo. In a game I don't even play. But you know what? Now I want Smash. Now I want Smash. Just so I can be freaking Banjo. Which the DLC doesn't come out till the fall, but still. Oh my gosh! The introduction was perfect. First of all, raring to go. See what you did there. And I thought it was hilarious that they used the same intro that they did for King K. Rool, which some people might be like, why'd they reuse that footage? Donkey Kong 64, that specific game, was a rareware game. Yes, Donkey Kong is owned by Nintendo, but that specific game, Donkey Kong 64, was a rareware game, and so was Banjo-Kazooie. So that was the perfect introduction, I think. And I love how the three of them, King K. Rool, Donkey Kong, and Diddy Kong, were all like, yeah, Banjo's here! Thank goodness they did not go the nuts and bolts route. I think they knew better than to go the nuts and bolts route. Because, fans would have freaked out. Not in the way we did, though. It would have been in a very bad way. But this Banjo looks so cute. He looks so good. Like, if you saw my reaction, I was like laughing and crying. I was just like, oh my gosh, they actually did it. They freaking put Banjo in Smash. So this leads me to a question. Obviously, Nintendo had to work with Microsoft to make this happen. Could we get Banjo-Kazooie, maybe even Banjo-Tooie, on the Switch? So, Fry Guy, who is a patron, a supporter of the channel, and is in my Discord, posted this picture of like a Twitter feed thing, which I don't do Twitter, so I didn't know anything about it. And apparently, there was this leak, mess up, error, whatever, for Amazon Prime Germany. No picture there, but it was Banjo-Kazooie for the Switch, which when translated to the US American dollar, came out to about $59.99, $60, what average big name Switch games cost. Could it have been a mistake and it wasn't supposed to be up yet? Maybe. Could have also just been fake. Someone could have just made it up that, the German company messed up or whatever. I found it funny that it was German because I speak a little bit of German. Not much. I play Breath of the Wild in German because it's fun. But anyway, could we get Banjo-Kazooie on the Switch? I think there's a decent possibility. I don't think it's entirely dumb to hope for that. It could happen. I mean, maybe they'll bring Rare Replay, or just Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, to the Switch. With the stop and swap mechanic, updated like they did for some other older games. It could happen. I would certainly like it. I would certainly buy it. I mean, I can play it other ways, but I I would like it. Better yet, maybe Microsoft or the developers of Yooka-Laylee, which are all former Rareware employees, original developers of Banjo-Kazooie, maybe they're developing Banjo 3, which was alluded to at the end of Banjo Tooie. Maybe we'll get all of it. I don't know, now I'm just dreaming. I just think that would be really, really cool with updated graphics. By the way, sorry if you can hear like the rain outside and everything, which is why my hair looks like this. There's still noise going on. Anyway, now for the big hitter. Breath of the Wild, the sequel. I was shocked, to say the least. And it was kind of hard to give a full reaction to this sequel trailer. And I think a lot of other people who reacted to it like live can attest to this as well, because we got Banjo and Smash, so we were already like, oh my gosh! And then they were like, oh, by the way, another announcement. And then we had to be, oh my gosh, again, but we couldn't because we were like, but Banjo, but now this, and what? Oh. That's how I felt on the inside. It didn't show on the outside because I was just like, and then I just started crying. It's fine. As much as I wanted Banjo and Smash and didn't think it was a possibility, take that concept feeling, multiply it by 100 for Breath of the Wild sequel. It had been discussed across so many Zelda tuber platforms, whatever. We all wanted it, and to a certain extent, but we all thought, or at least I thought, no, it's not going to happen. We can fantasize about it all we want. It's not going to happen. It's not going to get the Majora's Mask treatment. Oh, but it is getting the Majora's Mask treatment in more ways than one. First, let me just go over a few little things that I hope we get in this game. The ability to pet dogs. One of the people that worked on the game actually mentioned this in an interview, that he didn't realize people would want to pet the dogs, and he said, I'll keep that in mind for future reference. Let us pet dogs. Korok seeds. Make use of the other ones if we caught more than we need to. Found more than we needed to. To be fair, I understand why there's 900 Korok seeds. Think about it. With a world as big as this, what if they only had 450, whatever amount it is you need to open up all of them? Imagine being at like 400 and just needing that last few, and you're searching all of Hyrule for them. With 900, you'll find them. You'll find all the Korok seeds that you need. But then completionists are obviously like, but there's 900, so I have to collect them all. So for those that did, make better use of it in this game. I don't know. Hookshot, maybe? I mean, I guess it's kind of unnecessary since you can climb, but I don't know. There's rumors that maybe Zelda's going to be a playable character, so maybe she would need the hookshot. Maybe she can't climb as well as Link. Underwater exploration? Maybe. That would be cool. Which, of course, any of these can lead to so many different questions about what's going to carry over from the first one. Can we explore Hyrule? We've never had the same Hyrule twice, unless you count Link Between Worlds and A Link to the Past, but I don't count that. This is literally the same exact Hyrule back to back. We've never had that before. And so, like, the whole reason they never make the map the same is because that gets boring. So are we going to get to explore it? Are we just going to be under the castle? Like, what's happening? There's so many different questions. So many different questions pertaining going from the first to the second. I'm not getting into all of that. What I am getting into is, I think we're going to have actual dungeons in this one. Yes, the Divine Beasts were technically dungeons, but I think this is going to be another example of Nintendo listening to their fans. Skyward Sword. Feedback. Cool. Too linear. Please take out motion controls. Okay. Open world. Complete freedom. There you go. Feedback. Solid game. Love it. Can we have traditional dungeons back, please? Please. It's just, everything else is good. Maybe a couple of other things need to be tweaked, but traditional dungeons, please. And Nintendo's like, we're on it. I think we're going to get traditional dungeons. And because we're probably going to get traditional dungeons, that's my hope anyway, I think we're going to get a more epic sound music score. Don't get me wrong. I loved the music and sounds we had in Breath of the Wild. It was so fitting, so perfectly fitting for what Breath of the Wild was. And whatever the name of this sequel is going to be, if it takes place in traditional dungeons, that I think gives cause for more music, for bigger music, more adventurous music, because this might be, back to our old way of adventuring, but in a new sort of way. It's not post-apocalyptic. In fact, it's probably going to be really, really dark. Like, really dark. I'm sorry, just judging by that trailer. Majora's Mask treatment. Which, speaking of Majora's Mask treatment, as I said in the title of this video, but also in the beginning, I think that it is not unreasonable to hope for, to want, and to truly think that this is going to be a 2020 release. I know, call me crazy. I think it could come out as soon as a year from now. Maybe a year and a half, late 2020. Early 2021? I don't know. Now, Nintendo has done the right thing by saving their butt, by just saying, it's in development. They did not give us a time frame, and I think that's smart because we all remember what happened with Breath of the Wild. Again, really glad they took all that extra time because, one, I wouldn't have been able to buy it any sooner than I did. I didn't even buy it until Christmas of the year it came out, so... But mainly because the game ended up being so dang good, and it probably wouldn't have been anywhere near as good if they had tried to rush it to the release date they had originally or even secondly intended, but went with the third one, which is great. So, good on Nintendo for saving their butts by saying, it's in development, we're not giving you a time frame. But think about it, this game has already been in development since early 2017. Yes, in case you don't know, that is the truth. When Breath of the Wild was almost finished, or when it was finished, I don't remember, the developers said, oh yeah, we're already working on the next game. They're always working on the next Zelda game. They have multiple teams for multiple Zeldas. They have the ones that are third-party developers helping make stuff, like the HD ports, or remakes, or things like that. They have the people that would do the handheld games. They have people for the main console games. They have so many different groups making Zelda games, so naturally they were already working on the next big Zelda game prior to Breath of the Wild even releasing. So they already had this in development. I don't know if they had it exactly as they have it now, but it was already in development. So that means it's been in development for 2 years. Over 2 years. Majora's Mask took roughly a year and a half. They were given a year, but it was like a year and a half after the release of Ocarina of Time. Why did it take so short a time? Same engine, which they had already built. Same NPCs, they reused a bunch of assets, and they made it a little bit smaller, to a certain degree. Breath of the Wild is probably going to get the same exact treatment. They're using the same engine, which they built from the ground up, so they'd be stupid not to use it. The graphics are a tiny bit better, from what I could tell from the trailer, because I don't think they're making it for the Wii U as well. So now they can just make it for the Switch, so it doesn't have to be dumbed down for the Wii U. No offense to the Wii U, but actually offense to the Wii U. So they're reusing the engine that they've already built from the ground up, and they're going to reuse a lot of assets, naturally. Yeah, they have to build new dungeons and everything like they did with Majora's Mask, but a lot of it is going to be carried over, like with Majora's Mask, and it's not going to take as long. They don't need 5 years to develop this game. Most main console Zelda games take roughly 4 to 5 years. So a Breath of the Wild sequel wouldn't take that long. Maybe 3 years max. So with it already being like 2.5 years into development, what do they need? A year, year and a half more? So, like I said, maybe next summer. Late 2020, early 2021. I don't know. I think it's a decent possibility, and I don't think it's wrong to get your hopes up for that, because I think that is a fair assessment and a fair possibility of when it could come out. That's insane. That's insane. Y'all, this direct was just crazy, and there's so much more I wish I could talk about, but I'm already at like 20 minutes recording time. I mean, I'll probably cut a bunch of stuff out. What do you think? What were other titles you were super duper excited for? I know that there were a few, like Luigi's Mansion 3 and whatnot, that I was like, actually, now I kind of want to play it. So let me know in the comments below your thoughts about these trailers, these games, these new people coming into Smash. Just such a good direct, such a great E3 direct. Nintendo knows how to please their fans with quality content, but also giving us what we want. Oh, yes. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing and watching other videos of mine. Yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, I also stream, so check me out on Twitch. Just twitch.com/ or twitch.tv/The Geek Apprentice. I think that's how it is. It's in the description below. I stream. It's a fun time. Okay, that's it for this random extra video, so thanks for watching. And of course, thank you so much to my patrons like Justin, Greg, and Andrew. Y'all's support is very much appreciated. And if anyone else would like to get in on the special stuff that I offer my patrons, just go to patreon.com/The Geek Apprentice. The link is in the description below.